So now we are almost done with our first two shots of our animation. Now we will move to our third shot, and let me see my animation. For this shot I have to add another camera in our scene, and let me select this camera and see if yeah, it's a second camera. Now we'll move to add in third camera, and I want here the camera look should be like here. And let me press Shift A on my keyboard to add in camera. Then we'll make like third camera. Alright, third C. We'll understand what I'm trying to say. And for the view from that camera, we have to check this and click this camera, and let me go to this view and check this to set the angle of our camera. Yeah, here we are. I am going to set the photo length of this camera. Like I wanted like 90 rs. Yeah, here it is. And then zoom out a little bit, and then go with this, and zoom out again with like this, like this one, and zoom in like, yeah, we are almost done with this. And now we have to press on my keyboard to uncheck the lot of position of our camera. And now we have to set our lighting for third shot. And for that, I am going to duplicate some of my lightings like this one, and let me duplicate this and get this to the y-axis. I also let one, and then move it to the y-axis like this. And we are almost done with our top lightning. And now we will head to our bottom lightning. So let me duplicate this one, and then press Shift D and move it on the y-axis like this one. And also adjust the position of it like you wanted. Yeah, it's all the creative process. You have to do it for your project by your own. And with all these things, you will practicing it a lot. Basically, the more you make projects, the more practice will be done. And it's totally up to you how much time you are able to put on your blender projects. So here we have to set things up, and now we have to select all of these numbers. Let me go here and select this mode. And now we have to add an empty data in our scene, because these all numeric numbers are not parent to one object, and we have to make a short for it. And for those reasons, we have to add an empty somewhere. Here it is. Press Shift A and then go add an empty and move like this and like this. Here it is. Now I have to select all of these number pads, just numbers, one by one. And almost we selected each single one of it. And yeah, now I am going to parent it, and then select this, press Shift, hold Shift, and then select this and press Ctrl P on your keyboard, and then go with this object and keep transform, and then select this one empty, and then try to move it. Then you are able to move it completely like this. And now we are going to set the sharp frame like 121, I guess, and then in frames will be like 161, I guess. Yeah, and then draw from a prior like this, and select this, draw with location, and then draw it like 160, I guess. Made it 160, and then we have to move on the z-axis like this one, and then again add an t-frame of location. And but here we need the buttons, so we wanted it on top of it. like this one. But we also have to take care they are not able to mess up our keyboard. So we also have to make sure of this thing. But we don't have problems if they are selected. Now let me select those and then go to the frame like 121. I am going to add in keyframe like 125 and then go to the 160 arrays. And then what do we need to do? Move it on the z-axis like this and then add another keyframe of location here. Then we set it to the interpolation mode to linear and also select this and then make this linear. Then let me play the animation. Yeah, it moved in the constant position as we wanted it, but we can drag this to like 120 irs. Then put in keyframe here and then delete the 160 keyframe and then let it to this light one. Yeah, it's looking nice and perfect irs. And after that we are going to move with this 125 and then I will add this to the light 128 and then press keyframe of the location here and then go to this light frame 60 and then let me move it on the z-axis like this. Then add a keyframe here of location 2 but also made it a little more on move it on the z-axis like this, a little more irs, and then press D again and made it like available keyframe. And yeah, we are about done to this. I have to go with available, and now we'll see from our view how it's looking like. And let me uncheck this both to view from it. Yeah, we have to set the position of this thing, and for that let me select this one and let me go to like 122 iris. Yeah, it's fine iris. And now I will see from my render view how this scene is looking like. But let me change the color of these numbers, like we can make like the complete black iris or complete white. It's on us. But we also can give this buttons to a different color. Yeah, this is looking nice iris. We can give this look to our camera. Also increase the metalness and decrease the roughness a little bit. Yeah, it's looking nice. Now we just need one more thing to add in a light. And how can we do this thing to give it a more unique look from here? Before that, let me select my camera and press trade in to add in location rotation keyframe and then go to the frame sheet. Then not to select this. Let me uncheck this thing. Yeah, we are done. It's more like I want it like this. Yes. Yeah, we have to add another available keyframe and then delete this one and then drag this to the 160 frame like this. I don't want to drag it. I don't want to drag it a little more, so I wanted to keep this thing a little more simpler like this one. Now we have to add in an extra light, scene, go and then add an area light address. And should I move on the x-axis and then increase a bit and then move on the y-axis like this? Yeah, it's looking nice, I guess. It is as we wanted it. I want to decrease the power of our light like 2 iris or 1 maybe, and yeah, like this. A little more drag and drop. Yeah, with this it's a fine way. And let me see from my angle view. Let me select my camera and then select both of keyframes and then go with interpolation mode and then select this linear and then see it. Yeah, it's a nice look. I hope so. It's not that bad. And we will adjust the light as we want it. And here we are almost done with our second shot, and we are heading to for our third shot. And we also met something very clear because it's a really messed up outliner here, so we have to clean it a bit. And now we are moving for our fourth shot, and yeah, we are done with our three shots here. And here we are almost done with our second shot, and we are heading to for our third shot. And we also met something very clear because it's a really messed up outliner here, so we have to clean it a bit. And now we are moving for our fourth shot, and yeah, we are done with our three shots here. So now we are done with this scene, and we have to move forward, and we are almost done with our animation. There are few are left behind, so we have to complete those now. And let me see my animation again. And now for this animation we have to set another camera, and for that now we don't have to do anything else, just we need to add in camera. I just messed up here, so let me draw with this like this, and then check this. Yeah, now we have just need to add in camera, and draw, press shift A on your keyboard again, and then draw add in camera in your viewport. And after that, let me rename it this one like fourth camera, and view from this angle like this one, and then press N on your keyboard, and then check this on to set the position of this. Let me set the position of this camera like this. And yeah, it's we are done here. My mouse is not good at this point, that's why it's messing up like this. And yeah, it is we are done here. And now we have to set our position of our camera. My mouse is a little off, that's why these things are happening at this moment, but I hope so these things don't. Yeah, here it is, the view I wanted. Yeah, like this one. Now we almost set the position of our keyboard, sorry, of our camera, and now we almost done. Now what do we need to do? Go with start from like 161, and then go with the in frame like 190, and then we have to draw here, select this keyframe and control C, and then go to the frame 90, and then control V to paste it. And also we have to do the same with this thing, control C, and then control V to paste it. And for this keyboard we have got this empty, and then control C here, this keyframe, and then control V, and then paste it, and then we are able to see it from here. Yeah, this is a way it's looking like, but also we can select these both keyframe, and then go with interpolation mode, linear, and also go with others too. Here it is. But also I want to do one more thing, and that is I am going to select this like 145 this frame, and then select these buttons, and then make it like 185 is 88, and then this frame like 190, and then let's see, let me play this. Yeah, it's not that bad. Now you can play with your diamonds as you might edit this. And I guess we are done with our lightning 2. Let me see it. this rendered view, and then let me go to this. Yeah, we are almost done with our lightning. And now what do we need to do is as simple as that. We have to set our last keyframe, that will be like 191 to 240 rs. And here I will select this camera, and then sorry, and then add another empty here, and then scale it a bit. And now I'm going to select this, and then after that select this one, and then Control P on your keyboard to parent it. And after that we are going to select this frame, like add an keyframe here of location, add an keyframe of location rotation, and go to the frame in, and then here just press R, and here we are little messed up like this. Yeah, it is a view of this one, and we are almost done with this. Yeah, and then add a keyframe here, and then we are able to see from here. Yeah, it's almost done. And now in this video I told you how to make animation of the keyboard, but I just told you the ways of making it. Now it's completely on you how to make this animation more playful and in a joyful way, because you needs your creativity, not mine. You have to play with your timings. You have to make your own decisions, how move, how slow or fast you want it. And also with this, you also have to make sure the good lighting system is a very essential part of the animation, and you have to make sure to make a good lighting setup. And here we are done with our animation, and now we need to do some of the things, like we have to clear this thing, like we have to set up a camera, and after that we'll render one by one shot. And when our rendering process is completely done, and then we'll just go open the blender again and import all the sequence images of our render, and then compile it in the mpeg video, and then render it again. But before that, we need to render all this animation one by one. So now we are going to set our collection. It is a little messed up here, and now we are going to clear these little things, and the lights we need for first shot we will need them, and otherwise the unnecessary lights we will hide them for next shot. So now we need to clear our scene collection a little to render our first scene.